what are some ways that people should be looking at to stimulate their lymphatic system?
Great question. That reminds me of what you were saying there about a quote. I can't remember who said it, but it was a medical doctor who said it. He said, it doesn't matter what your doctor calls it, it always involves toxicity.
Yes, it's true.
In some way, shape, or form, right?
It's the terrain.
So I already know when you have chronic inflammation or an autoimmune disease, your lymphatic system's a hot mess.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that that's the only issue, but I'm going to contend this. If you don't do something on purpose to try to improve it, you're really going to struggle to get well.
Yes.
Right. So here's the cool thing about the lymphatic system. I think it's the most important system of the body because it controls the terrain that all your cells live in. Right. And you cannot get well in the same environment you became ill within. One of my favorite sayings. So if your cells are living in their own toxic poop, you're going to struggle. Right. So phase number one is try to eliminate that. And you've got about 700 lymph nodes in the body. Some people will say 400, 500, 600. I just want you to know it's like more than 5. Okay. And those are mini toilets, basically. And they act like a toilet to flush waste out of your home. And that's what they do in your body. And they gather in clusters, little communities in the body. Most of your lymphatics live in 3 places. One is the skin, because your skin is exposed to the outside world. And that's why you'll get a lot of skin issues when you have lymphatic issues. For instance, with me, with cellulitis, right? The other one is in the neck. 1/3 of the 600 to 700 lymph nodes are from the collarbone up. So let's just think about the design of that. Why in the world would nature or whatever you believe in put that much there? Because it's probably a super duper uber important region to take care of in relationship to elimination of toxins and ensure blood flow to and away from something that's quite important. That's called your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So people will have neuroinflammation in the brain when they have a lymphatic system issue. And the other one is your gut. By far, the most of the lymphatics are in your gut. Now, why is that? Because most of your immune system lives in your gut. Why? Because it's exposed, the largest surface area of the body exposed to the outside world. It's not your skin, it's your gut. So if I laid out your gut flat out open, it's about the size of a tennis court. Because it has to come in contact with whatever you stick in your mouth, right? So that's why it's a good idea not to put crap food in there if you can, right? But if stuff breaks through that gut lining and you have leaky gut, which most humans do because of it's stress-induced or poor diet or all sorts of different things, then if it breaks through the gut lining, well, then your immune system has to be there to kill whatever breaks through it. And then the lymph system says, I'll do it. And so the lymphatic system automatically gets overactive, right? That's why I go to your gut when I check for anything, all right? So gut issues will cause inflammation anywhere in the body. So now that you know that you've got most of the lymph in the head of the neck and in your gut, and these lymph node clusters also gather around the primary joints of your body. And the reason they do that is this. The 2 biggest things that keeps your lymphatic system moving, because you want to move that stuff out, is movement. Then people say, what type of movement? And my answer is yes. Just get your body doing something, right? Walking's a great one. Jumping up and down in place is even better. Jump up and down, you'll change your life, right? So movement, because that pumps the lymphatic system through muscular contraction. And because of that, it puts the lymph nodes around the joints of the body that are supposed to move the most. The shoulder joint, the hip joint, the knee joint, and your abdomen. That's why walking stimulates it so well. And the other one is breathing, but a very particular type of breathing through your diaphragm. the muscle on the lower part of your thorax here above your abdomen. Many people may be familiar with the diaphragm. And that's a large domed muscle that whenever you breathe in, particularly through your nose, not your mouth, the diaphragm contracts, it pushes your organs down. And then when you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and the organs get pulled back up. So down and up, down and up, down and up. That sounds a lot like a pump. So what it does is it pumps the lymphatics everywhere because it's pressure. Pressure moves fluids. But where does most of your lymphatic system live? In your gut. So when you breathe through your diaphragm, then you pump the guts. And that's where the largest lymph node in the body sits, about halfway between your navel and the bottom of your sternum. The largest lymph node in the body sits there. And that takes all the lymph from the organs, the pelvis, and the legs and feet right there. If that gets blocked, you're going to have a problem everywhere in all four corners: hands, feet, brain, back, everywhere. Okay? That's why I always have to clear the abdomen first. But if you look at the culture of today, we don't move a lot.
No.
We sit a lot. Right? And we don't really walk anymore. And if we do walk, we don't walk with purpose. Right? Because I can't walk with purpose, Doc, because I can't see my phone if I walk and I don't use you're looking down at your phone. So you're locked forward and your posture changes and everything tightens up. And then people don't breathe well. They either over breathe because they're stress breathing. So they're hyper breathers, or they breathe through an open mouth and not the nose. So you just shut down the two biggest things that move fluid in your body. And then you stack that on top of all of the different toxins that are coming into your body all the time through what you breathe, what goes through the skin, what goes in through your mouth, or what goes in through your thoughts. And then your body is like, I'm doing the best I can with what I got in the moment I'm in, but I'm overloaded here. Like, there's nothing else I can do. And then the only thing it can do is say, I'm going to protect you the best way I can. I'm going to try to kill this stuff for you until you listen to Dr. Perry and you figure out you should work your lymphatic system to flush those toilets, and then I don't have to inflame you so much. Because you always have to just kind of step back and think like your body thinks. Right? It doesn't oopsie daisy anything. There's no accidents in the body. And inflammation is on purpose.
Yeah.
So flush your toilets first, and then then the other things will begin to work a lot better. Right? And here's the thing that really sent home for me. I was taking a lot of supplements trying to get myself well. Right? Because a lot of times you need those things because you can't get what the nutrients you need from the food that we eat of today, because I don't even know if people eat food anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Or it's not just that, it's what was done to the food before it got to you. And depending on where you live in the world, particularly in the United States, it's probably something horrific with the pesticides or the preservatives or all sorts of different things like that. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm putting these supplements in to help my cells. First of all, can it even get to the cell? Right? If your lymphatic system is overburdened, I'm going to tell you it's not. And then if it does and the cells use it, well, they're going to make waste from my supplements. So I'm right back where I started from, right? See, the starting place is always the same. Begin to pay more attention to your lymphatic system through that, and hydrating yourself is a big one. Because the lymphatic system, check this out, is 90% water. And guess what else is? Your blood. So if you're dehydrated, nothing works. Yeah. And most humans are dehydrated.
It's funny because we become kind of this arrogant race that sees our bodies as broken when something goes wrong. Yeah. But it's really our actions, and our bodies are doing the best to make up for our stupidity in our actions, right? It's so
Oh,
much
big time.
smarter, right? It's so much smarter than we are. We sit there, we go, oh, my body's broken. It must be genetics or something. I need pills for that because I have
Mhm.
this, this, and this. When you want to say, your body's so much smarter than you are right now. And you're doing all these things to it it's actually counteracting your stupidity in a sense to help
Yeah.
save your life and keep you alive. And here you are talking down to it and giving it chemicals to try and subdue what it's doing to save you. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like this
Absolutely.
really weird thing we have going on right now. We've gone against nature. You're right. We're not walking properly. We're not breathing properly. We're not even drinking. If we do drink water, sometimes it's tap water that's so contaminated, it's probably more toxic than it is
Yeah.
helpful. We've gone against so many of these things, and then we have this kind of arrogant approach to, conventional medicine will fix it. My body's just screwed up somehow. Woe is me, sort of thing.
Mhm.